What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of The Take On with myself, Flex, and Mr. Danny Murphy and Anton Ferdinand. This episode is brought to you by NordVPN, and it is the international break this weekend.
Yeah, Flex, but just because the Premier League is taking a break doesn't mean your online security needs to.
So think of NordVPN as the ultimate defender to protect our listeners and ensure they keep clean sheets against dangerous threats and counterattacks.
Also, NordVPN not only protects your browsing like Anton in his prime, but gives you the freedom of a midfielder to access content from all over the world.
Anton in his prime. Now, just like Danny used to assist back in the day, we're offering our listeners a huge discount off your NordVPN plan. So head over to nordvpn.com/The Take On, or just click the link in the YouTube description below. It's very, very easy. Our code will also give you 4 additional months, all right? And a 30-day money-back guarantee. So it's risk-free. It's risk-free.
So don't let our online defence concede this weekend and go out all attack with NordVPN.
So to stay connected securely to football this weekend, visit nordvpn.com/The Take On, or like I said, just click the link in the video description below. Don't miss any second of any football action. Stay secure, stay connected, and enjoy the beautiful game online with NordVPN, all with one tap. All right, interesting week. It is international break now as well, so there's a little bit of a chance to recap on what's happened, see where a lot of teams are at. But before we do that, there's like a little bit of trivia, a little bit of fun that I want us to do, right? It's called You Remind Me, like Usher. I mean, you know Usher, innit? You heard of him?
Come on.
No, you dressed like Usher today.
You better look that way.
Met him.
You better look that. Don't look this. You better look that way.
Yeah, do you know what's mad? I wasn't really into him too much, but he came to an England game years back, and he was friends with Beckham, or he knew Beckham somehow. Everyone knows Beckham, don't they? So he turned up. He was in the lounge, and honestly, I thought it was like someone's little brother or something. He's tiny, isn't he? Have you met him? Have you seen him?
I haven't met him, but I've seen him.
He is so small, but what a talent.
Yeah, you like the way of Usher? Yeah.
Oh, he's got moves, hasn't he?
You got any?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Moves like Usher?
I would love to see you on the dance floor. I'd love to. I would just
to
love
this
it.
song, You Remind Me. I want to see that. I want to see
One
get
day.
into that.
Well, it's nearly
rendition.
Christmas.
We can, but basically this segment's called You Remind Me, right? And we've got a batch of modern day players, right? And I want you guys to compare them to who they most remind you of from the past, yeah? So the modern day players, the crop of that is Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, William Saliba.
Are you all way older than a minute? Who done this list? Because if Saliba's in it, it's only one person.
Joel would have been heavily involved in this, you can tell.
There is always 100%. An Arsenal player in there, always.
Yeah, I mean, he's had one good season, but we've got to liken him to greats as well. So that's
to be
that's definitely a Joel thing. That's definitely a Joel thing. Camavinga, Phil Foden, and the past. I mean, this is just ridiculous. David Beckham, Zidane, Robbie Fowler, Didier Drogba, Gabriel Batistuta, Paul Gascoigne or Gaza, and Ruud van Nistelrooy. So, who out of the modern players would you like to make a match for, Danny? Do any of them screen out to you?
I think there's only one that screams out to me there that you can have any type of comparison, really.
Go on.
Harry Kane and Batistuta. I think.
Met him and all. Played against Batistuta, but I played golf with him recently in the summer in Doha.
Did you do?
What a ledge.
Was he?
My God. What the nicest fella, but so angry at himself. You know, like you just like fuming
So
with
he's
himself.
still just competing on a high level, but with himself. Up until now.
Yeah, he was always nice to, I think it was me, I think JJ, Nigel de Jong, and then on the way there, I got a text, JJ from Nige, saying, Batistuta's playing. You know when you still get that?
Yeah.
Oh, Batistuta.
Yeah.
How was it?
Yeah.
Lovely fella though.
He's a legend though.
Well?
Yeah, it was near in the end. Still that guile, that kind of thinking, don't get him a chance.
Yeah.
He wasn't as mobile, to be fair.
Towards the end, but you knew everything that went.
He was a finisher.
Yeah.
He was a finisher.
Why is Harry Kane most like him?
Because he stays within the box in terms of when the ball's wide. Like you get some players now who don't make the box. Some strikers who just about make the box now.
Proper 9.
Do you know what I mean? He's a proper 9. Like Gabriel, that Batistuta was. He played in and around the box. Obviously, Harry Kane got more than him in terms of being able to drop off, play a pass and stuff like that. But when we're talking out and out 9s in these two lists, I think he's the only person really you can really compare him
Looking
to.
at this list, it's definitely by Joel because he put William Saliba right, as the modern.
But there's not
even another centre half.
Yeah.
So in Joel's head, he thinks William Saliba is Zidane. That's what he'll think. That's what he'll think. He's French. He's a maestro. He's an icon now. So there's not even any centre halves there. I'm going to say Phil Foden. Right.
Yeah, go on.
Bit of Gaza in there.
That's the only other one that you can really go.
Trot about with the ball, got ability, nip past people like they're not there.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care. No fear.
You having that done?
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad.
Other than that,
Gaza was a ledge, wasn't he?
Oh, what a player.
Just, when people say like the longevity of something. So like, can someone be truly great if they didn't do it for X amount of time?
That's fair.
Like you see like in music terms, you might say Lauryn Hill, she had one album. But like that one album
still gets played today.
Still. So you've made something
Chesney
timeless.
Hawks. Who? Chesney Hawks.
Who?
Are you saying who? You're meant to be a DJ.
Hey?
You know the song.
How's it going?
I am the one and only. You know the song.
No.
I am the one and only. That one.
Don't know that version.
Come on.
Never heard that version.
Well,
See,
it's one of the most famous. It's one of the most famous songs.
Yeah. But it
is
He's a big West Ham fan.
It is.
Mad West Ham fan.
I know it. I didn't know your version.
I knew the joke.
But with Gaza, I feel
song.
like, do you know what I mean? People sometimes forget how great he was. Because,
Getting hot.
because he obviously didn't do it for as long as we would have all loved to see that illustrious career.
I get it. But when you talk about England greats, his name's always mentioned.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Always.
Well, he did turn up in 2 big tournaments, to be fair to him.
And not just that, I think just him as a player, people that when he played in England, watching week in, week out, he was always on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
Always.
I had the pleasure of, we played, I don't know if you ever did it with the England 21s or we played, when we were in the 21s, we played the first team.
No, I've never done
in
that.
a friendly game at Wickham. And the 21 lads, we were buzzing, obviously, because I was up against Gaza. And the first guy, I played against him as well when he was at Everton later on in his career, but that was the first time. And the first thing he did, someone had a throw-in. They had a throw-in and he turned around to me and went, "Oh, Murph, nice to see how you doing. You're doing well, aren't you?" And I was like, just buzzing. He was speaking. So I was like, yeah. Next thing, he's just gone. Got the ball off the lad taking the throw-in and pushed me away.
That's good, yeah.
And he just gave me a wink as if to say, you know what's
levels.
happening. Yeah.
This is the levels,
That never happened in my 21 days. I would have absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
We loved it.
It didn't happen often.
I would have loved it.
Did you get smashed?
Nah. They took it. It was. No, they beat us if I remember, but not a hammering.
Like
because they were looking after themselves.
Yeah.
And we would bang at it.
Yeah,
everyone playing like man,
Out of that list, I mean, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Beckham, Zidane, Didier.
I think Saliba. Well, I mean, Saliba is to me, and I can say it from you not being obviously his brother. He's the nearest thing I've seen to Rio in a long time.
Yeah,
I've got to give him that because he's got this. He never looks flustered.
No.
So calm all the time.
He's got this, the way he runs, the way he's calm on the ball. It's like he never looks troubled.
He's in control. He's in control.
He's always in control situations. I think I make you right. I said before about Levi Colwill being the closest thing that I've seen in terms of English player, English defender. But I have to agree with you, William Saliba, in terms of always being in control. His temperament, Get the hell out of here. Joel from behind the camera tried to say some say he's better. Get out of here.
I'll tell you what, he has got the potential to be a real top
100%
player for a long time.
Yeah.
Because he's doing that that calmness at a young age like Rio was.
Yeah.
It's rare that.
The only problem is, like you say that he can be better. Does he start for France?
Probably does now. I think by the time it comes down to the Euros,
they've got some players, haven't they, Frank?
But that's I'm saying he's like people talking about him as the top of the top now. Is he starting for France? Why are people talking about him being the top? Then he's not.
Koundé.
I'm not saying that he's not better than them, but I'm not saying that he's not better than them. I'm not saying that he isn't.
You're saying why isn't he starting?
But he isn't. He isn't playing ahead of them. So you can't then start saying.
What age was Rio regular? Do you know?
What, for England or just
for England? It would have been 19, 20.
Do you think was it that young? Bloody hell!
He made his debut at 17.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm not.
Like, no, it might have been 20s, maybe.
Solid regular by then.
And do you know what I mean?
He's on that trajectory anyway.
I think the fact he's in the conversation.
I think he's in the conversation, but if you're talking about him being Joel saying from behind the camera that some would say he's better.
Mate, Joel said he's basically like Zidane. There's not even another defender for us to compare
But do you know
to,
what I
so don't
mean?
listen to him.
If you're not playing for your country, but you're meant to be compared to one of the best ever.
Joel throw him under the bus, man. There's a couple of mistakes in that. He'll just move on to someone else. Thriller at the Bridge.
Amazing.
Thriller at the Bridge. What a game. Game of the season so far.
Game of the season in terms of it had everything. Quality, high intensity, passion, drama. I loved it. I thought when that Rodri one went in, the little deflected one near the end, I thought Chelsea going to get nothing for all their hard work. And I felt for them a little bit.
Do you know what surprised me more than anything? You never see two teams, big teams like that, go toe to toe. It's always a game of chess. Them big games are normally a game of chess.
The amazing thing was with that, toe for toe, normally someone at some point goes,
I'm done.
Yeah. But they didn't.
I loved it.
And I was thinking, even at 4-3, City was still attacking.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what as well? That is the Poch coming out in that team. Because remember, when he was Tottenham manager, they had that never say die. I remember the games that was it at White Hart Lane with Chelsea.
They always went at it.
They always went at it. They never stopped.
No.
They never stopped. And I think that you're starting to see now a Poch type of Chelsea team, and I think the fact that it's never say die, we're going to go toe to toe with you and we're not going to give in. If we get beat, fair play, but you're going to have to work hard to beat us.
Do you know what I thought he did really well as well? And I'm a big fan of Poch, as you know, but he made... Cole Palmer, we'll talk about him in a minute. He's obviously a quality footballer. Surprised me how amazing he is. I haven't seen that much of him, so fair play. But beginning in the second half, he put him as a 10 and he put Conor Gallagher right side, who'd been playing as the 10, and Palmer had been on the right. This before the sub. And when he moved Sterling over, didn't he? And then he brought Mudryk on and took Enzo off. But Gallagher was on the right. And he did that because... I think he did that because in the first half, Doku, who was getting a little bit of joy, ball was getting out to him a lot, and Palmer was trying to help Reece James. But for all his qualities, Palmer's not the quickest and not...
a couple of times.
Yeah.
He did.
So I think he thought, I need Conor Gallagher over there to just...
nullify
sort that out.
Yeah.
And then they give him a platform. I know they conceded. But then when he took Enzo off, who I thought struggled a bit.
Yeah, he did. He suffered the intensity of that.
Yeah, he did. When Conor Gallagher went into centre mid, Sterling on the right, Mudryk on the left, and
they look fluid, innit?
Palmer as a 10, with 4 attack-minded. I was like, clever.
Yeah.
Because Gallagher gave him more legs in the middle of the pitch.
He's been their stand-up midfielder.
But I'm on about
Enzo,
deeper.
just in general.
I'm on about deeper because I thought Enzo was struggling with the physicality of it. But Palmer, different. And I have to say that I don't ever remember seeing Sterling play as well as that.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because obviously Cole Palmer was fantastic and has now got his first England call-up due to some injuries as well, which obviously is a chance for him. Yeah. But Raheem Sterling was he was something possessed. He was like that for me was like people been forgetting like about my career, who I am, who I can still be, what I can still do. He was taking Walker for a dance. That doesn't.
And not many people do that.
Tested him bad.
Do you know what I mean?
Tested him big.
To the point where Walker's the best right back of this generation, but he was in a game. He went, I'm not having this.
You could see he's in a game.
He was in a game. And Sterling just had that bit between the teeth to say, people been doubting me. Gareth Southgate saying, who are you going to drop for this? Who are you going to drop for me? Yeah. All right. I mean, still not in the team, by the way, but he just showed levels. Sterling did.
Do you know what? I think for any young aspiring footballer who's watching this show, I think watching Raheem Sterling prove his doubters wrong. And there's only one way he's doing it. He's working hard. He's working hard with and without the ball. What about the one where you tracked back with the tackle when he cleaned out Foden?
Yeah.
But he's just tackling back all the time.
But he's not known for that.
No.
But people are doubting him. So it's like, okay, I'm going to show you and I'm going to show you more.
Here's a question for you. And I'm only bringing it up because of the West Ham thing. And I like Bowen, by the way. He's scored a load of goals recently. When you're looking at the England wideman, and we could have this argument with Rashford as well, but start with, if you're playing France in the Euro final tomorrow, do Do you want Sterling in your 11?
Yes.
Or Bowen?
I'm playing Sterling.
I want Sterling on the left. I want Saka on the right.
As
That's what I want.
As a West Ham fan, and I think Jared deserves to be in the squad. 100% deserves to be in the squad. However, if we're going into the final and we're playing, who do you say, Italy?
France.
Or France in the final.
Who's going to cause France damage out
Sterling.
of our front?
Sterling. And not just that, he's proven in...
So you'd have him in?
100%. He's proven in tournament football. He's proven.
So why do you think he isn't in?
There's got to be something. Something's happened. There has to be, because this is where Gareth Southgate, I think he forgets what he's saying or what he said previously on a simple thing that I keep Harry Maguire in there, I keep Phillips in there because of what they've done.
But he has also said because of lack of people playing that role.
And I get that. There's lack of people in them other roles.
Playing better than Sterling right now.
However, he's always been about form. Sterling ain't just played well this one game. He's had a run of games. He's had a run of games before this.
I think he's been good all season.
He's had a run, but he's had a run of games where people looked and gone, right, he's back.
Yeah.
Something must have happened. I know you might want to blood the Cole Palmers and bring them in. I get it. But do you not think that Raheem Sterling ain't helping Cole Palmer at Chelsea? Of course he is.
Yeah.
100%.
I agree.
I just think something must have happened. You can't have one rule for one and one rule for another. I've
always backed Rashford. Big fan of Rashford. And I think sometimes he's a bit of a scapegoat for you, especially when you're not winning games. But if you're looking at Sterling and Rashford on form,
miles off it.
Sterling's better, isn't he?
But Marcus Rashford on form shouldn't even be in the England squad. That is
saying that he did last time he scored, played well, didn't he?
Yeah, and against Scotland he did well as well. So looked sharp. So again, that is where Gareth gets in his bag of like, listen, I know him, I know he can do a job for me and stuff like that. But in terms of how Marcus Rashford's actually playing for club this year.
But when you talk about, that's what I mean. But if you're saying, I know he can do a job for me, I know he can do it because when he comes on, he plays. When he comes with England, he plays well, does well. I get that. But we're talking about a guy in Raheem Sterling who has proven time and time again where it matters in a tournament.
Yeah, but then what you're saying is you think something else going on. He seems like a good lad, Raheem. I know he had that. Didn't he have... I know he's played since, hasn't he, in the World Cup and stuff, but he had to do with someone in England, didn't he? Who was that with? Didn't he have...
did he? I can't remember that.
No,
he got dropped for a game, didn't he? Because he had a little in-house fight with someone.
Joe Gomez.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Gomez.
Yes.
Joe Gomez.
Or something like that, innit?
So maybe
to bed quick though. That was that was.
No, I'm just trying to think. Why wouldn't you?
Sterling, see Sterling. Yeah, I've said this on other shows before, and I'll say it again. He's done more for England than some of our England greats that we have up there. When you're looking at Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard, listen, these are massive players. But in an England shirt, Raheem Sterling is up there with them, if not surpassing some of your favourite players for England. Factually, like for me. Raheem Sterling, if you're watching, mate, go and play. I don't know about the rules. Go back to Jamaica. Go play for them. Go play for them. If they're not rating you, if Gareth's not on it, go back. Go and play for flipping Oak Rios FC or Tivoli Gardens FC or something. Go back home because Gareth's not on it.
I'll tell you one person I'm excited for and happy for is Ezri Konsa. I think he deserved this call up. He should have been called up before some of the others. I think he's been fantastic.
Which 2 to 3 youngsters do you reckon will potentially make the Euro 24 squad and have an impact? So obviously Cole Palmer's come into it.
Yep.
Rico Lewis has got a shout there. Obviously look at what Saka did at the World Cup, but. Do you think there's any youngsters there where you think, I tell you what?
But by the way, this might be a bad take, but I'm going to say it anyway, right?
We want to hear this.
Rico Lewis in the squad, if he does well, Trent Alexander-Arnold's in trouble, by the way. You could, and the reason why I say that, I'm not comparing two players, but the reason why I'm saying that is because Gareth Southgate clearly ain't really having Trent Alexander-Arnold.
As a right back.
As a right back, he ain't. Rico Lewis does well in both positions for Man City. So if Rico Lewis makes his debut for England, does really, really well, shows he can do both jobs, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold's in trouble. I really do.
Well, I think a lot depends on how much they play the second half of the season and who plays well and all that. But yeah, it's a fair point because we know that Gareth ain't Trent's biggest fan. I mean, Trent's creativity and ability to open up teams is better than
it's a joke.
we know that. Yeah. So, but I know where you're coming from. The flexibility of him. I mean, I would argue that Rico Lewis really, with the amount of times he plays under Pep, should probably get in ahead of Phillips.
100%.
Yeah.
Because Pep plays in that role
team,
instead of
ahead of him.
Phillips. And if I'm England manager, I'm going, Pep sees them every day. Tell you what, I'll go with Pep.
Yeah.
But that's just too easy, though, isn't it, Dan?
I like Phillips.
Yeah.
But I like Phillips. It's not digging. But if you're not playing, you're not playing.
Yeah.
How you're not playing and in your nation's squad, it's actually beyond
Bizarre.
me.
Yeah.
It's beyond me.
Unless you're
about
Messi.
Exactly.
You have to be certain.
Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There's only a few players exempt from
You know what I mean? But I think to play for England, if you're not playing week in, week out, I find it like it's mind blowing. It's boggling.
Yeah.
For me.
And that's to even maybe get a spot on the bench and just be in it.
Just
to be in the conversation to play for England.
Let's roll back. Let's go
get the
back.
best of the best.
Let's go back, right? Different position. Jamie Carragher, Liverpool legend, Premier League legend. Yeah, fantastic defender in the Premier League in England. My man's playing every week, going on international duty, knowing he's going to sit down, not play.
Andy Cole.
But had to play every week to get in there.
Yeah.
Carrick.
By the way.
I mean, all these guys.
Like,
Mate, I had the same. I was playing week in, week out, even at my best, knowing that when I got to England, I was watching.
What was that? Honestly, be honest.
That's mad.
Be honest, Murph, yeah. Obviously, you're around top draw players.
I was, yeah.
I understand that. But like what Anton's saying, what does that actually feel like to know that you're on your game every week, like you said, at your best, but it's still not enough? How did that make you
At
feel?
first, it was fine because the first year or so I was in the squad, I was just made up. I'd got
Buzzing.
there.
Happy to be there.
yeah.
And I got there a bit late, so I was probably 24, maybe 23, 24, maybe 24. And so I was a bit late developing in that respect in terms of getting a regular spot at Liverpool and that. So I was thinking, I've hit another target and I've got to learn off these. I'm here with Scholesy, Becks. I mean, ridiculous. So I was learning and buzzing just to be there. And then after a while, it starts becoming, didn't matter what I did.
It's demoralising.
Yeah. But I got it. I knew my place.
Of course.
I didn't ever get there thinking I should be ahead of you.
Was you ever resentful to any of the guys?
The only person that played ahead of me a few times when he wasn't playing, I had a couple of times when Kieran Dyer and Joey Cole, different players, and some would argue better, and that's fine, but they weren't playing that well, and I was flying, and they'd got, but I wasn't really a wide man. So I understood why Sven picked, because Kieran could run at people. Joey was a skillful, bit different to me. I was more of a passer.
Yeah.
So I got it. I just understood my place.
Okay, so put it in that context. You put it in that context. Imagine this then. You're playing out your skin week in, week out. And the person that goes and plays ahead of you, say for instance, it is
Phillips,
who's in the squad ahead of you, and they're not even getting off the bench for Man City. What do you do? What do you do?
But it wouldn't have happened.
I know, but I'm saying, put yourself in that position. What are you doing?
I think the only thing you can do is when you get the opportunity, speak to the manager and go, please tell me what you're thinking, because I am baffled. But what Gareth would say and what he's tried to explain is, the game's changed in the fact that we've got such a limited pool of players to choose from. But I would argue, look,
I think that's a cop-out.
It is, but we could have a debate all day long about who's good in what position. If you play two, if you play one, and then two in midfield. James Ward-Prowse should be playing for England ahead of Phillips.
Facts.
100%.
No, not double pivot, single pivot, all that nonsense.
No, he just should be in there ahead of him.
He can do. He's a grafter. He's a good passer. He does his work discipline-wise off the ball. He sets up goals. He can score goals.
Yeah.
He can play in the middle of the park next to Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Of course he can.
So why is that not happening? And how does James Ward-Prowse feel? I don't know. As he spoke to Gareth, Gareth's a good guy. I would hope he'd picked up the phone and had a chat with him, but maybe not. I don't know.
But look, as obviously you probably know him personally, or have had loads of encounters with him, obviously. But it's like from the outside, as an England fan, I'm looking at that and I'm saying you are way off it. Like I actually think you're basically undermining yourself. You're making a mockery of the very rules, values, and principles that you have set out, and you're just showing that you've just got favourites.
I think that's the biggest thing, because he's spoken so openly and been very forceful from his first presser to now about people not playing unless they're on form or they're playing their clubs. And then now this is happening. I think it's almost like, Gareth, remember what you said in your first presser to now? I think it's a massive contradiction. And when I get and understand that there's players who, in terms of there's less of a pool to pick from, I get that. I really do. However, centre-back, Konza, Gay, Tomori, that's not that's Dunk. That's players that can come in when Maguire's not playing and fill them boots. How do you know unless you give them a chance? But then you got midfielders, like you say, Ward-Prowse, Gallagher. These players should be there ahead of Rico Lewis. They're ahead of Phillips. 100%. Of course they should be.
Easy.
So you can say there's a smaller pool of players, but there's quality in that pool, by the way.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
There's quality. It's not always about the number.
I'm actually with you. I'm with you. It's weird. It's a strange one. It is a weird one. But you know what? Every manager have got those little favourites, haven't they?
Yeah.
We've all had it all, at club level.
Yeah.
We could all tell stories about someone
it's brilliant when you're a favourite. It's brilliant. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
You see the hypocrites, you know?
No, it is.
Yeah.
It's great.
And this is just a human thing. Nobody cares until it happens to them. Yeah?
But no,
That's
I'm telling you, it was brilliant.
You know what I mean?
Pards I'd be playing every week, whether I was rubbish or not.
Long before WhatsApp, like before the group chats, you're just ringing them up and you go around this house for dinner and all that, saying, Saturday we're going to start me and that.
That's
nice,
not me. But like, do you know what it was? When at certain clubs, I won't name them, but at certain clubs, when you're in the dressing room, and people look embarrassed when they're picked ahead of you.
Yeah.
Embarrassed. At Sunderland, I'm going to name it. At Sunderland, it happened regular.
Who?
At Sunderland, it happened regular. The team will get picked and people will be looking around like, right, how am I playing ahead of him? Not just me, other players.
Yeah.
Like we played, who did we play? Newcastle away, the 5-1, when we got beat 5-1. Steve Bruce wanted to play his players that he had brought in. These guys, some of them have never played in a derby, by the way, let alone this derby, which is like unbelievable. And there's so much hatred in it. It's ridiculous. Yeah? There's, who's on the bench? Me, Kieran Richardson, Bono Zenden, and maybe one more. Like that, Phil Bardsley. We've all played in big games. Experienced in them big games, but experienced in that game as well. Yeah? How can you not play in a derby, going to a derby and not play players who understand that game and know what
was it like
game?
after that? See them senior players that you said, be honest. Did any of you lot, was there any, I told you so?
No.
Like, was it?
No.
You just know, don't you? You just know.
You just know. Like, I knew in the warm-up we were getting beat. I knew. Because we went out, we came out of the tunnel at St. James's Park to whistles and jeers. We're jogging about, and then all of a sudden we stopped for a stretch. And I remember standing next to Kieran, I went, we're fucked. And he went, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What do you mean?
I
I said, when we come out of the tunnel, the first thing, I don't know about you, the first thing I used to do, when you come out of the tunnel in a derby, and there's jeers and there's boos and there's whistles, you look around, you look at people's eyes. Are they with me? So the first thing you do, I looked around, I saw El Mohammadi, man was like a rabbit in headlights. There was not just him, there was 4 or 5 of them.
Which first time is understandable.
Which is understandable. And I said to Kieran, we're in trouble.
Do you know what?
5-1, bro. 5-1.
I had one manager at a time. Well, I've had a couple I got on with really well. I was kind of getting on really well on nothing at all. And I used to have at one point where I got on so well one manager, say on a Friday, I'd come in and the lads would go, Murph, who's playing? Because they'd seen I might be talking to him in the morning or Thursday after training.
Oh, you was that guy?
You know what I mean?
Have you ever been manager's pet?
Yeah.
Easy.
Twice.
On purpose. Because sometimes you can be a pet where it's like...
purpose.
No, because sometimes
I can
you can...
see it.
Sometimes...
Murph, I can see Murph.
Sometimes you can be like, no, I need to get in his good books. So you might do certain things that are...
No.
Or was it just, he just took a liking to you? Whichever.
No, yeah. It's. I mean, Julio's the first guy because obviously... I was trying to get in the team and he wanted to help me and I wanted to get there. So it was obvious you listen. You know what I mean? And then he did take a bit of a shine. I got a bit of stick for that, to be fair. Yeah, I was playing in the big games and that. And even if you had a bad game.
No, but you know what? You produced. Let's have it right.
Yeah, he picked me for a reason, didn't he? But I knew there was times where it was probably like that. And
because he likes you.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but you paid him back because at Old Trafford, at your ground, he used to run riot.
All right.
Murphy used to run riot at your ground.
And do you know what? And I'm glad you spoke about that because actually we were going to talk about for a bigger chunk about Man United basically being disproportionately criticised. And the reason for it is because most players, ex-players, fans especially, ruin their childhoods and careers, like jealousy. 106, Man United at the top. Sir Alex Ferguson, Fergie time, all of that stuff, right? But I did want to ask you two in particular, from an outside perspective, like when you played against Man United, especially for you, Danny, as playing for Liverpool and that, did you feel like Sir Alex was influencing the refs? The refs were scared of Man United, or it's like, big old Man United, give them the decisions, things like that?
Do you know what? My overriding memory of playing United was just desperation to try and beat them and be competitive.
No, you're being candid here.
No, at the beginning,
you're being candid.
They were there. And I used to go there thinking, I want us, me personally, sales. I wanted to come off the pitch thinking I'd showed myself. You know what I mean? I'm equal to this.
Okay, you done that?
Yeah, but
you done that. But Cold one in the top corner.
I had some great wins there, but the first time I ever played there, and I think this is what set it up for me. First time I ever played there, I thought it was on the bench, right? It was my first season at Liverpool. So it was 97 or 96, I can't remember. We're getting on the coach, leaving the hotel. Karl-Heinz Riedler and Michael Owen were playing up front. Midfield was Ince.
Riedler, remember him?
Ince and Redders were midfield. Karl-Heinz Riedler went to pick his bag up and bent his back.
Just like that?
Couldn't move. So I've got on the coach, and Roy Evans, the manager at the time, said, "You're playing behind Michael 10." I was like, what? So we've got a decent side, but Man U were proper. They were better than us at the time. And long story short, we drew 1-1. Michael scored early on, first half, but he got sent off for 2-footing Schmeichel. Don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, I remember that.
He did it. I think,
was it 96?
96, 97, I think. So I played up top on my own at Old Trafford, second half.
Wow.
Got the bubbly, got the MOM. So every time I went back there, I don't know if you've ever had that where you have a good game somewhere, and every time you go back there, you feel like
yeah.
Which is mad because it
I
was
had that both ways. I had that where I had a stinker, and I always had a stinker at West Brom. Always.
Chelsea.
Always
struggled at Chelsea, me.
I never got a good result. So played well there at times, but never got a good result at Stamford Bridge.
I'm not gonna lie, Danny. Obviously, this is great what we do now and getting insight from you. You really used to annoy me.
Yeah.
You did, because I just used to think, how?
Was you at the games then?
Guy. Well, I used to get taken up because I couldn't go all the time. Obviously, United fan from London and all that. But listen,
you're one of them, are you?
Yeah, I'm a fake fan or whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean? But my mum didn't have money to take me up to flipping Old Trafford and all that. So I used to watch a lot of the games, obviously from home, and where like my uncle could take me, and because none of them support Man United in my family, I'm the only one. But they would take me here and there. But so I didn't see you play in person at them times. But I always have a football fan. But you just, whether it was Fulham, Spurs, flipping Liverpool, like you said, you just always used to play well against us and always used to score good goals as well.
Yeah.
Gosh, man.
Yeah. Not him again.
Do you know what? It's weird because
I had to think twice before doing the show when they asked me.
I've had so much good comments about the different games. People say I was at that one, blah, blah, blah. But the biggest thing for me and the best feeling of winning against United and scoring the goals and the winners and stuff was because of how good they were, not just because it was Man U. Because if it was Man U mid-table or struggling, because they were the best.
Yeah, it was proper.
And it was Scholes and it was Giggs and it was whoever it was. That's what made it. It's because of the level they were at.
Yeah.
Being on the same pitch as Beckham and Scholes. I know it sounds a bit cliche.
Yeah. No, of course.
They were a couple of years ahead of me, so I was always a little bit looking up to them. And Giggsy, and being on the pitch again, even Roy Keane in games, I ran off the back of Roy Keane once to get the winner. Stevie put me in with a great ball, and he was fuming. Keane, I don't think he's a fan of me anyway. For some I think he did. He said a piece recently, and he was caning me saying I had a pop. I said,
"What did you do?"
I think he's mistaken me for someone else. Because
I think he's got the right guy.
No, because it was madness. Because I once I got booked for a tackle on Roy Keane once. They beat us 4-0. Sammy Hipper got sent off first match, lost my head a bit. And bad tackle, got booked. And there was a few words, nothing, do you know what I mean? They were beating us. My bad tackle. But other than that, I'd never spoke to him. And I saw him doing that overlap with Gary Neville and Karen, all that, leaving a bit on me. I was like,
you know what? Do you know what that must be?
Maybe he just forget me running off the back of him to get the winner.
Do you know what it is? If a common theme of his sending offs or him hitting someone with a tackle was always, I was getting him back. Yeah. He obviously never got you back.
Maybe
that might be grumbling on him.
That. What about you when you played against Man United, and obviously with Rio being there as well?
That's what it was. That's what made it. Like? That's what made it massive for me. Was going to Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams, but playing against Rio. Like, you understand and know, Murph. Walking down the tunnel and then coming up the bank and then that big stand,
nice, isn't it?
That big stand. Listen, you see people get swallowed up in that.
Yeah.
And you see people lose in the tunnel.
Yeah.
There. Do you know what I mean? But I just embraced it. I was like, we're playing against Man United. Ruud van Nistelrooy, Wayne Rooney. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, come on. Like, and then you walk down and up the bank and it's like, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And by the way, my mindset was always, I'm the best defender on the pitch. That's how I went out to games. I wasn't playing against Rio, playing against Vidic, but my mindset was always, I'm the best defender on this pitch. And that's how I prepared for games. But I always knew that United would always get an opportunity. Always knew. When it got into stoppage time, they always got a chance. Always. And they called it Fergie time, but the fans played a massive part in it because of the way they willed their team on. I remember going, I think 2 years running with Sunderland, scored in the last flipping 2 minutes of the game, 1 to draw and 1 to win. Do you know what I mean? But it was it was demoralising. Like, it was horrendous. And we've held on and we've done well.
They were relentless.
They were relentless, but the fans called it on, and the team responded. And you call it Fergie time, yes, they called it Fergie time because it's Sir Alex Ferguson. But the fans had so much to play in that, so much of a bigger part to play in that. They willed it on, and they called it on, and the team responded.
It's all coming back, don't worry. We've got a new CEO coming. I mean, Sir Jim's coming in. It's all coming back. I mean, it's all coming back. Thank you for watching the Take On. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to this channel.
One today, wasn't
it is. Sometimes, international break.
We went off on various...
Listen, that's what it's about, especially international break. So if you've enjoyed that, let us know, and we'll see you again, same time, same place next week. Take care. Peace.